Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan Dang. I'm a type 1 diabetic who just graduated college, and for this video I'm going to be doing a sit down, get ready with me while I talk about everything I learned about diabetes in college. So I'm trying to just make some kind of fun different videos because I know I always do vlogs and I enjoy watching get ready with me's, and I know that this is a diabetic channel, so I thought I would combine the two and just do a kind of informal talk about things that are still fresh in my mind since I just graduated so recently. But I'll also be doing my makeup while talking. So as I said, I'm 22 years old. I graduated in May of this year, so about a month and a half ago, and I studied architecture. So a little more background about my educational experience. I came into Berkeley studying political science, or intending to major in political science, but then I ended up switching to architecture the summer between my freshman and sophomore year. I had 2 roommates my freshman year, so I was in a triple in the dorm rooms, and then the next 3 years I lived in an apartment with either 1 or 2 roommates. I had 2 years of COVID online kind of schooling, or a year and a half of that. I went to school about an hour and a half from my house. So that's a little you can know about my schooling and where I'm from, but if you have any more questions about that, be sure to leave it down below. I came into college very unprepared of taking care of my diabetes alone. My whole life I had been very reliant on my parents, especially for the low blood sugars at night specifically. So whenever I'd go low at night, I wouldn't wake up to my low blood sugar, and that was a really big issue for my family and me because it was something we really worried about, me going off to college and like living alone and not having somebody there in case of emergency in the middle of the night. I had never had a sleepover with a friend or anything like that either. My whole life. I guess I have, I don't even know. I think I have now at this point, but I hadn't at that point. So my parents were just very protective about me, especially with diabetes, because they were afraid of me going low when I was little because I would just never wake up. So then the summer between my junior and senior year, I wanted to go on this exchange program that happened in Belgium, and my parents actually let me. So this was the first time I had ever been away from home, was literally across the world in Belgium, which was a very crazy experience, but it's very fun and it helped me a lot, and it taught me how to be independent with my diabetes and plan for things. And then from there I just worked up my senior year. I just worked on taking care of it alone. The truth is that I was never really actually good at it. I never fully proved to my parents that I could wake up at night, so it's something really difficult and scary for them to let me go to college. I know that they were dealing with probably, but they didn't let it show a lot. But it was definitely a scary time because they weren't sure how I would react in college. Thankfully, I never had any issues in college with going low in the middle of the night. My body just learned to start reacting to it and actually waking up. So I'm really lucky, but I'm not really sure how to recommend preparing other than maybe at night, like track when you do and don't, change your basal rates so that you're higher at night. What really helped my family and assured us was auto mode function that had just come out with the Medtronic Guardian sensor, so that like the automatic suspension, the making a noise to actually wake me up, not just be relying on my body, and all of that really helped out. So next up, I'll talk about going out and that aspect of diabetes in college. I had never drinking. I had never done anything before college. I was very studious in high school and I just didn't go out, so I had never done any of that. And then I got to college and it was my first time trying it. I would definitely warn diabetics to be very careful when it comes to that. In general, you should be careful when it comes to that. If it's just your first like time experiencing things at high levels, it's definitely important to try doing them in safe environments first. So maybe with a few friends in your dorm, or people you feel safe around, and always making sure you have a buddy with you. But for me, what really helped me was always having my Guardian sensor on if I go out, so making sure I can continuously track my blood sugar. If I ever knew I was going out, I would make sure to have that on and not have it off, because I cannot trust my body and its feelings when I'm in a state of intoxication. Relying on me bringing my test kit and testing all the time and doing all of that, it's just too much. So I always have a sensor on, calibrate right before I go out so that I don't have to worry about that, and then also bring a test kit if I'm going to go out for more than an hour or two. And I always brought some kind of snacks worth of like 30 grams at the minimum. So I would always bring like 2 fruit snacks, or fruit snacks and granola, or a bottle of juice or something, because it's really important to always be prepared for emergencies. That's my #1 tip, along with wearing your sensor at all times. It's because being prepared really takes away away the fear or like just the probability of anything drastic or fatal happening. So I would definitely suggest always being prepared with snacks and things like that. It's really important to always have low blood sugar treatment. Another thing I dealt with in college was the first time ordering supplies and dealing with all of that alone, and like getting it shipped to a new city and address and dealing with insurance. So that was something I learned a lot about during my time in college in terms of diabetes. That's not directly related to college. It's still a valuable lesson. I learned about how you need to order your supplies way in advance, because if you wait until the week before, there's gonna be something that goes wrong with insurance, or there's gonna be something that goes wrong with doctors sending in the approval. It took me literally this year from January until I think March to get my insulin, and I had like 3 bottles left, and I was just ordering ahead of time, and then it ended up taking 3 months. So it was just really insane, and I would really suggest how to deal with all of that early on so that it doesn't bring you so much stress about losing actual or like not having actual supplies when you need them. In college, I learned to be a lot more independent with my diabetes too. Elementary school, whenever I had to use the restroom and stuff, we had something called a buddy system just for me because I'm diabetic, that they would have to go with me. That all stopped around 5th or 6th grade, and I've been independent and taking care of my diabetes since like middle of middle school or something, where I started actually putting on all of my own everything and not needing my parents' assistance other than low at night and adjusting basals and stuff like that. But since college, diabetes management has been completely on my own. Even though I did all of that in high school, I still felt the constant support. But being away from home, finally doing that on your own for so long really changes the dynamics. So I feel very independent in my diabetes now, even though at the end of high school I didn't think I could feel any more independent, and I think they'll just get more and more with time. In college, it was really nice to have somebody I'm close to still though, that I can count on as a friend. Having close people around you and just feeling like they know a little bit more about the condition and more than the average person feels really reassuring. Just having them around you in college, developing those deep relationships with people around you is really important, especially for your diabetes and just your overall feeling of safety. I think that diabetes honestly didn't play as big of a role in my college experience as I thought it would. Things went really smoothly. I never had any emergencies while I was there, which I'm really lucky about, and it was a really good experience for me. I'm actually going to be moving in a couple of months, and that is a whole nother phase that I'm a little scared about in terms of diabetes, more so than college, because college I was still close to home, so I wasn't worried. But just losing that support system, even one that you feel like you may not utilize all the time, just that it's here and present is really reassuring. So I think it was really beneficial for me to go to school pretty close to home and make that adjustment slowly. But I feel like I'm at the position in my life where diabetes shouldn't be holding me back at all in terms of my other goals, and I think that my time in college has really helped me get to that place. Okay, so that's my little makeup routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it wasn't super helpful. I thought it would just be good to talk about the things in terms of college and diabetes while it's still fresh in my mind. I still am thinking about it. I am excited for the next part of my chapter of my life and to share with you all and take you along on that journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.